Beyblade has existed for almost 27 years, and with it came 4 generations with multiple seasons. The first era, what we dub the Plastic Gen, consists of 3 seasons. The second era, the Metal Series, consisting of 4 series. The fourth one we don't really talk about. The third generation, the Burst era, consisting of a whopping 7 seasons, good lord. And finally, the current series, Gen X, with currently 3 seasons. With each era comes its own fanbase, whether it's crazy Metal Fight fans, or even fans of spin-offs like the amazing Beyblade franchise. Each season brings in something special to the play, whether it's new characters, new gimmicks, or just straight up the same theme song with just changed up lyrics. But one season stands out from all the rest. One season that, if you compare it to what came before and after, would be considered the best in the entire franchise. That season being Beyblade Burst Turbo. Now, if you've been living under a rock, or you haven't watched it since its release 8 years ago, Jesus Christ, Beyblade Burst Turbo is the 3rd season in the Burst era, taking place 2 or so years after Valtryek's massive win at the International Bladers Cup. That's my boy! It follows a new main character, Aiger Akabane, as he starts his new journey to become the strongest blader in the world. Along the way, he creates rivalries and friendships with people like Aiger Akabane, Fubuki Sumie, Agent, and more, battling with his partner Bey, the Achilles, and later its evolution, Turbo Achilles. Together with his friends and Achilles, Aiger takes on powerful opponents and discovers what it truly means to have a bond with his Bey. Something I really liked about this season was all the new and returning characters. The new characters we get in Turbo are, like I said earlier, Aiger, Ranjiro, Fubuki, Heijin. We also get a bunch of new characters like Suo Genji, Xavier Bogard, Laban Vano, Kyle Hakim, Evil Oxford, Count Nightfell, Hyde, Fi as our main players. All of them are incredibly great characters. Each of them get their time to shine, even they have episodes where they're almost the main character, essentially. And of course, it wouldn't be Beyblade without returning characters. Characters that we have return, even just as cameos, are Silas Carlisle, Kurt Baratier, Louis Shirosaki, Rantaro Kiyama, Xander Shakadera, Shu Kuranai, Toko and Nika Aoi, Koji Kanda, Ange, Kit, Free De La Hoya, Raul, and Christina Kuroda. Oh lord, and can you believe Beyblade Burst Surge has even more characters? Gotta say though, my favorite characters in Turbo, aside from Aiger, have to be Ranjiro, Fubuki, and Laban. Ranjiro, also known as Captain, is the main leader of the Wild Bey Gang and is the younger brother of the legendary BC Soul Blader Ranjiro Kiyama. He refuses to accept the idea that anyone out there is like stronger than him, is also he's stubborn, and he's the kind of guy who believes his own strength, no matter how many times he loses. But his sense of honor and his overall brotherly kindness makes him incredibly popular.
It's starting to look good now, don't you think?
Yeah.
You gotta win tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
Good, because I'm the one that's gonna defeat you.
Yeah, keep dreaming.
You sound pretty cocky, kid.
You wanna go right now?
Bring it on, runt!
Fubuki is the leader of the Bey Club and is the student of the legendary blader Shu Kuranai. He's very calm-minded, no, not the Pokemon move, and he takes his training very seriously. His concentration and focus is so good that he will literally just tune out the world. He will not be able to hear anyone while he's training.
Captain! Some weirdos blading in the practice area.
Please be quiet. Fubuki is concentrating, so he can't hear you anyway.
But Suo, it's...
Let it rip!
So beautiful.
Despite his calm and serious behavior, Fubuki is very kind and supportive to those he cares about, especially Aiger. Then there's my goat Laban Veno. I don't know why I like him so much, but honestly, he's such a cool character. As well as one of being the Turbo 4, one of the four most powerful Turbo Bladers, Laba's personality is very similar to Aiger's, which means he's always ready to take on an opponent, and is also ready to make friends easily. He's also able to predict the future. He's a fortune teller. In the episode where he does his fortune for the first time, or like where he meets up with Aiger, after like catching a kimono lizard or whatever, he casually shakes a bunch of rocks, throws them on the ground, looks at Aiger, and he's like, yo, I know where this dude lives now. That's cool.
That's so. Well then. Mother Earth, I ask that you lend me some of your guidance. Go! Cool. I know where this dude's home is. Later!
What in the world was that about?
He can also communicate with animals, like Dr. Dolittle. It's shown when he talks to a bobcat. I think it's a bobcat. Might be like a mountain. Is a mountain cat a bobcat? You know, whatever. He shown talking to a bobcat and a lizard, and his launching style is very cat-like and wild. Which I don't know why I like him so much. I am a sucker for Blue. That's probably why I like him. I don't know, but he's honestly like my third favorite character. Now, some of you may be thinking,
God is literally
what
the
the
best.
hell is this guy
Plastic
talking
Jet
about?
is
Come
literally
on,
the best.
Rebel,
Who's the better options?
Why
Yes, we are to know. Why does it gotta go to the why?
And to those people, I say, shut the hell up and let me speak. The reason why Turbo works, where others don't, is that the show is just purely character driven. At the start of each season and every other generation, we start with our main character who's already in love with Beyblade. At the start of Plastic Gen, Tyson literally ditches his martial arts responsibilities to run to a battle. In Metal, Jenga is literally shown to be incredibly powerful in the first episode after taking out 100 bladers who jumped this man. Valt, Dante, Hyuga, Hikaru, and Bell, they're already shown to be immensely into Beyblade. Valt's literal first line in Burst is saying how much he loves Beyblade.
Hey, my name is Valt, and my absolute favorite thing in the world is Beyblade.
But Aiger is different. When we're first introduced to Aiger, he isn't a blader. He isn't hooked on the thought of becoming a blader one day as if he was a Pokemon trainer. He's just a normal guy. He's living on a farm with his family. That's like the high life. That's honestly, bro, let me vibe with you at your place, please. But everything in his life changes when he meets up with Valt. When Valt shows up in his life, he gets somewhat more intrigued by Beyblade. Valt wants his dad to create the most powerful Turbo Bey. Aiger's like, whoa, a Turbo Bey? What's that? But like, at the end of the day, he isn't interested. He doesn't understand the appeal of Beyblade, having thought that like hard work is more important.
Is that kid still working? I don't get it. What's so special about a Bey? Doing hard work like this is more important if you ask me!
That was, until he saw the roof of a barn come off. Jesus Christ! After witnessing the power of Wonder Valtryek, he becomes infatuated with Beyblade. He wants to make his own. He wants to feel what Valt feels when he battles. This, right here, is the starting point for his love for Beyblade. It's such a good moment that others can relate to, because just like Aiger, when witnessing it firsthand, you fall in love with it. You make it your personality. You want to prove yourself as the best. Aiger truly represents you, the audience. He is an audience surrogate. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's talk about Turbo and how Aiger is the perfect representation of every person who starts their blading journey. Like I said earlier, set 2 or so years after the events of the International Bladers Cup, Beyblade Burst Turbo shifts its focus from Valt to Aiger Akabane. Aiger is a real wild child, or in what Valt would say, monkey.
Hey, you're the monkey I saw before!
Take it back, I'm not a monkey!
Yeah, I see that now, sorry.
He grew up in the mountains, but his life changes forever after he witnesses the power of a Turbo Bey. Inspired by the incredible power of Valt's Turbo Bey wonder Valtryek, Aiger decides to forge his own partner himself, the Achilles. Driven by a desire to become the strongest in the world, Aiger leaves home and goes to attend Beyblade Academy, where he's then able to challenge strong bladers and ascend through the ranks. As Aiger progresses throughout the season introduced a new group of elite bladers known as the Turbo 4. Similar to how in Evolution we had the Big Five. We lost a number, which for some dumb reason went down again in Rise. Turbo 4 consists of Laban Venel, Xavier Bogart, and brothers Hyde and Phi. He finds rivals in Fubuki and Ranjiro, and unlike previous seasons that focus heavily on the team dynamics, Turbo centers around Aiger's personal obsession with victory, as well as his relationships that he makes with his fellow bladers. His ambition for winning eventually leads him to face the absolute GOAT that is Louis Shirosagi in the Luinor Cup, and ultimately to Valtryek. But in a shocking turn of events, after battling on the battleship cruise, Aiger manages to take on Valt, and he manages to defeat him. But he does that by completely shattering Wonder Valtryek, becoming, the new world champion. But this victory comes at a heavy price. His resonance, his blader spirit, so to speak, with Achilles, it turns dark and starts corrupting both of them. The story takes a bit of a darker turn with Phi getting more spotlight after the battleship cruise, with him and his terrifying Beyblade Provide Phoenix. Phi, while being one of the most powerful Turbo Bladers, is an incredible destructive force who seeks to, break the spirits of bladers and their bays using the power of this dark resonance, dark blader spirit. As Aiger becomes increasingly consumed by his desire to win, he falls into that same state of dark resonance, where his bond with Achilles is fueled by anger and with power rather than just true partnership. After losing his world championship title to Hyde, Ranjiro and Aiger decide to head to Hyde's home base, the Dark Citadel / Demon Castle / Dread Tower. Jesus Christ, man. Choose a title for your house, man. After encountering and battling Count Nightfeld and Dr. Evil. Is it pronounced Evil or Evil? Genuinely. Hold on. What?
Evil.
Oh, okay. They find out that Fubukishu and Valt have actually traveled to the tower so that they could bring Aiger back to light. Well, also so Valt can reclaim his title as champion with his new Turbo Valtryek. Unfortunately, the first part doesn't work, and this ultimately leads to the devastating moment where Phi destroys the Achilles and shatters it into pieces. Destroying Aiger's confidence and forcing him to reflect on what it truly means to be a blader.
I thought we were really resonating. Would it still have ended up like this? Oh no! I was wrong about nearly everything. The stronger our resonance. I should have listened to you, Captain. You were right when you said I only wanted to destroy my opponent. This whole time, I thought all of that was because Achilles and I were battling together. But that wasn't it. I never stopped being able to hear Achilles' voice. I just wasn't listening. It's my fault. I wasn't acting like the partner I should have been. And because of that, there was no bond between me and Achilles. Achilles was destroyed because of me.
The final arc of the season focuses on Aiger's redemption and his journey to rebuild. With the help of Shu, who, of course understands what it's like to fall into this darkness, being, Red Eye and all. Also, side note here, I find it very funny how in a quad strike, they were just casually selling Red Eye masks at, like, a stand. Wouldn't Shu have a say if they're allowed to sell those or not, considering it's a symbol of trauma? Anyways, with the help of Shu, Aiger creates a new and more powerful Beyblade, Turbo Achilles, or Josie Achilles, or Josie Valtryek, or Valkyrie, whatever, like what half the people in this comment section are probably going to be saying. I know that's what they're called. I'm calling them by the English translation. With him forging Turbo Achilles, he learns to forge a better, genuine, healthy bond with his Bey, moving away from his ego-driven obsession. The end of the series sees Aiger and his friends joining forces to stop Fi, who has evolved his Bey into an even more menacing Dread Phoenix. Honestly, I'm glad we didn't see Fi from here on out, because it would have been a nightmare to see a perfect Phoenix, but it's a good thing we didn't get that. Right? Through a series of high-stakes battles with some unfortunate losses, come on, Shu, you could have done better than that, Aiger eventually faces Fi in a final showdown, wins with honestly the coolest battle of all time, and he proves that a true bond between a blader and Bey is stronger than raw destructive power. The season finale ends with a thrilling and visually stunning battle with Valt and Aiger, where Aiger eventually regains his title as champion and successfully solidifies himself in the world of Beyblade as a world champion. By the end, Aiger has matured from an arrogant newcomer to a respected blader, while Valt also remains a legendary figure. The series wraps up with, of course, emphasizing the themes of resilience and enjoying the sport, with this setting the stage for the next generation of bladers to continue the legacy. Now, if you figured it out, my reasoning is pretty easy to understand. But if you have a small attention span like me, and down too many Dos Equis while dome scrolling on Instagram Reels and trying to figure out if she's gonna come back to you or not, which, by the way, bro, she's not. Drop it. She's gone forever. Move on. Then let me explain. Aiger represents you. He represents me. He represents... Whoa, whoa, whoa! He represents everybody. That's what an audience surrogate is. What makes this season so great and better than every other season and series, even better than the Metal series, fight me on that one, I don't care. He's a perfect audience surrogate. Like I said earlier, past main characters already have this established relationship with Beyblade, while the average person watching this probably doesn't. So it feels kind of jarring if you start one of the series and they already have this energetic passion for it and you don't, and you're just trying to immerse yourself into the world and follow along with the main character. But when it comes to Aiger, he didn't have a relationship with Beyblade, similar to whoever's watching this. So when you follow his journey, you can envision yourself as him, going on this epic journey, being the best, being at the peak, but then falling and having to build yourself back up to be an even better blader than before. A lot of people can relate to that when it comes to different things, like sports, careers, like working on a film maybe, or just dreams one would have growing up. I relate to this in some way. Fortunately not going on an epic journey, but I'd say something similar. Growing up, I didn't know what Beyblade really was. Randomly I'd catch a few episodes of the Metal Saga. I think one I remember watching when I was younger was a Battle Royale Island episode. I think that's what it was. Tsubasa was great. I loved Tsubasa in that episode. But other than that, I didn't really know what Beyblade was. It was only until my older brother's birthday back in like 2016. Someone got him the original Hasbro Beyblade Burst set, like the original set. They came with Storm Spryzen and Victory Valtryek and that yellow bucket stadium. We didn't really know what Beyblade was. He kind of just got that. So when we first tried it out, it was honestly like monkeys finding and using fire for the first time. It was amazing.
That's amazing.
I was immediately entranced in it. I immediately fell in love with Beyblade. It was super cool just seeing like them spin around, them hit each other, and like bounce off the walls and slam into each other. They'll burst or stop first or like ring out. It was awesome. And then, eventually I discovered the TV show and I would always watch that all the time. And over the years I'd get more and more Beyblades, but like similar to Aiger and how he had his fall, I kinda had a fall with Beyblade too. After Turbo came out, I was thinking this was the greatest thing Beyblade could ever be. I did not know how else they could top it. And when Rise came out, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun, but kinda came downhill for me. My love for Beyblade kinda went down because of Rise. Rise, for one, was shorter than Turbo. Instead of having 51 episodes, it had 26. I can't find a solid reason as to why this has happened. From what I've heard, it's because, well, COVID, for one, in that apparently they could just crunch out 26 episodes and just drop them on YouTube if they wanted. That's one of the reasons that it's so short. Another reason why I didn't like this show so much was because Dante, the dragon guy, he's just so annoying. Oh my god, it's like every time he's on screen, I just want to peel my own flesh off. He will not shut the hell up. He's so annoying. And like, yeah, Aiger's there too, and we do have like some cool concepts like going turbo and like going like the Beyblades turning gold and whatnot. Yeah, that's cool. But honestly, it just didn't capture my interest that well. That along with the products too. Like, all the bays that I have from Burst are from Hasbro. Because my mom didn't know how to go on Amazon and find the actual Takara Tomy products. So I always have these like funky, weirdly gimmicky bays that just light up a stadium. Like, yeah, that's cool. Honestly, they were kind of meh. They were really meh at the end of the day. I don't even think I finished Rise, if I'm being honest. Rise did so much damage to my love of Beyblade. And then Surge came out, the season where it's like, oh, all of the legacy characters are back. We got Silas back. We got Louie back. Honestly, it kind of felt like they were trying to do some, like, Avengers thing where they were just trying to get everyone back because they brought back old characters and nostalgia. I mean, I thought it was okay. I liked the concept of having two main characters, but I don't even think I watched Surge. I mean, I've seen clips online, definitely, but I don't remember ever watching Surge. And then when it came to Quad Drive, I did watch that whole show because honestly, it was set to be the final season of Burst before, Quad Strike came out. So I was like, you know what, let me just finish the show. And Quad Drive was okay, but I got like one product of it. It just, Beyblade to me kind of just lost its special spark. But that was until Beyblade X came out. Beyblade X brought me back to the franchise. I, like Aiger, started rebuilding. Its new gimmick where you're able to like ride the accelerator rail was like awesome. It made battles so much more intense. And even talking about it now gets me excited. Like the fact that the Beyblades are like a mixture of like past gens beforehand with like a mixture of like a burst of mechanic, plastic, metal, and the fact that they actually remake old Beys. I'm not sure if they're still doing remakes now. I mean, like they did recently, I think, do a remake of Excalibur. I have him in the sword launcher right now. I'm looking at it. I'm holding it in my hands right now. It's so cool. They remade past main character Beys. They remade Dragoon, Pegasus, Valkyrie. It was so cool. And like Aiger, I rebuilt myself. I became a bigger fan of the franchise. And like I am now like the biggest X fan. I pre-ordered those CX 2.0 bays. I pre-ordered those. They look so cool. So what I'm trying to get to say, what I'm trying to say is, like Aiger, I had a fall. I essentially dropped Beyblade. I didn't really want to have anything to do with it anymore. But then, after seeing what X was, I started rebuilding myself. And I rediscovered my love for Beyblade. And I started being an actual blader. With X, competitions are now running rampant. We're getting competitions where first place winner can win a car. Like, Beyblade has become incredibly popular again. And honestly, if you truly want to hop on Beyblade and see what your journey would be like, watch Beyblade Burst Turbo. It is the best season that you can relate to. It is the most relatable journey you can have. And honestly, you could just watch Turbo, then like go straight to X. Because like, you know, we don't sell Burst products anymore, we sell X products. So, yeah, that's how I think Beyblade Burst Turbo is the best. Compared to like everything else. It is the perfect show to show your own personal journey. And that's why I think Turbo is the best season. Aiger is a relatable character. He's an audience surrogate that you can truly relate to. And you can follow his journey while making a journey of your own. You can see how he falls and where you fall, and you can build yourself back up, like how Aiger did. And you don't have to apply this to just Beyblade. You can apply it to your own life. Like, if you're having a difficult school life, you can see how Aiger rebuilds himself, and you can build yourself back up. You can, your film career, or like, I don't know, maybe you're sad at it, maybe you're doing bad at a job, like Aiger, and how he rebuilds himself. You can build yourself back up, and eventually to the point where you love what you do again. That's what Beyblade Burst Turbo truly is about. It's about growth. And that's why I think Beyblade Burst Turbo is the best season ever. But hey, this is just my opinion. If you don't agree with me, you can say down in the comments below. But if you can't agree with me, you don't have to. But if you do or don't, share your opinions down in the comments. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Maybe I'll do more Burst videos in the future or more Beyblade videos in the future. But yeah, my name is Rogue, and goodbye.